People abroad always work together. They do chores together. They do everything together. But why is African zone very different?
Have you been to the abroad?
I have friends, I have family members.
And they do things together.
Mm-hmm.
You are kidding. Let me tell you, there is nothing like abroad. You people, you people are so funny. A country you've never been to, you see movies and you think that's abroad.
But
you
I
say
have
your friends,
families there.
so your family says they cook together.
Mm-hmm.
Be truthful to yourself.
I'm truthful.
Everybody that I know, all my brothers, whether I go visiting or they're there, my in-laws, nobody cooks together. They run their houses as if they're in Nigeria.
The ones I know, they cook together, they do chores together.
Let me tell you something about culture. It has nothing to do with the location you're in. Culture is culture. But you know what? Because we are slaves in Nigeria, anytime you move away from where you are, immediately you change your culture. Immediately you throw away everything you know. And then you start imbibing one stupid new culture that you can't work with.
But that culture is okay.
It will be okay for you because you don't really know what is involved in it. I'm not saying any culture is bad. If you can understand the precept and the concept of it, yes, you can implement by it. In Africa, the reasons why men don't do chores, like you might think, men do chores. Oh, I wash clothes, I clean the house.
Your own clothes?
Yeah, not my own clothes alone. I wash my wife's clothes sometimes. She means to ditch it inside the washing machine and then you squeeze it. Sometimes I'm helping her to. Don't forget that our wives will always get pregnant. I wear socks, I wear shoe for my wife, I do everything, I iron her clothes. You people make it look as if African men are horrible. We are not.
They are demons.
You see that? The narrative here in Africa is most men work more than normal. You don't expect somebody who had gone to work from morning, like all the shout of the office, all the targets to be met and all of that, and then comes back by 6 o'clock and you expect him to go to the kitchen and start cooking again. They need to unwind the pressure that had come. So some of them will pop to their phones to watch movies. Some of them will start playing with their children. Most women stay at home or their own job is not as hectic. You know, you can do hectic work if it doesn't involve insult. You will still enjoy it. Yeah. If you go to a work where nobody is pressurizing you unnecessarily, but you get to a work, most of our jobs are pressurizing. Where is the thing I told you? You do not see this contract. You're going to be fired in 2 days. I will remove your salary. You see, all those things pressurizes you further than normal. But if you have, that's why everybody wants to be self-owned. That's why everybody wants to own their own job themselves. Most people like to be self-employed. Not because it pays more money or it's easier to be done. It's actually more difficult when you're not on any salary and you're housing for yourself. But at least there won't be insult with it. So I prefer to go through the pressure when I don't have insult. But many people are graced to have their own jobs by themselves. Guess what? Even if you have your job by yourself, you too will employ new people, which if you are not careful, you start pressurizing them too. Because now you know the pressure the CEOs face because they are not delivering. So you have to shout on them to deliver too. So the cycle continues either you have your job, because now instead of being the hunted, you are now the hunter in case of a CEO. But by and large, it's absolute rubbish to put a mark of you have to. Let me tell you what happens abroad, because you've never been to anywhere. Have you gone to any foreign country ever?
I've been to Ghana.
Ghana is a foreign country. In abroad, this is how they do it. In that abroad you mentioned, I can count 7 of my friends who the reason why they cook, which is normal. You as a husband, you've gone to work and then you get back home 5:30 in the morning. Now your next shift is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you sleep till about 11 and then you have another shift by 2, which your train bus gets there by 30 minutes. So you have to finish up whatever you're doing by 1.5 hours. But your wife comes back home by 3 o'clock with the children. For the sake of Almighty God, I have almost 2 hours to prepare for my new work. And my wife comes home by 3. What do you think I'll be doing in that 2 hours? I'm going to start to cook while I prepare. You don't need to tell me. My children and my wife is coming home. I start cooking. Guess what happens? When I come back 5 o'clock in the morning, the food I'm going to eat that early morning while I come back from my own work, who cooks it? My wife cooks. You understand it? So your wife is going to work this way, is going to take care of the children this way, I'm going to cover this way. So everybody is covering their tracks. That's how it's done. Fast forward to Nigerian women. They will, after they prepare the children in the morning with food and all and they go to school, from that morning to 2 o'clock, it's around 11 you go to your shop. And you have staffs there in the shop that works. Not like you're going there to work. And then you pick the children back by 2. Which work have you done? Which pressure have you gone through? It's not really a pressure. And then you go back by 3 or 4, you're supposed to cook dinner again. And then your husband comes back from work he has done throughout the day, by 6 he's back, and then you expect him to come and be cooking. What kind of rubbish is that? No. A man, weekends, for example, I work weekends, but when I wasn't working weekends, every Saturday I would have sorted all the clothing based on color and all of that into the machine, and most time my wife will still be sleeping when she wakes up to see me washing those clothes.
But you cannot cook.
I don't know how to really cook, but not like I don't cook.
You cannot
No,
cook.
this is my cooking style. If you want to, before we bought all those pounding yam machines, pando machine, I don't know what they call them, I was one that usually pound. I don't allow my wife pound, because when she pounds, she has chest pain. So it's me that pounds. Even if I'm tired, it doesn't matter. I know it's my routine to pound. Those days before we started having, money too will make your life easier. Before we started having guards and help at home, it's me that wash all the cars. Every time. My children were young then, so if I'm washing the car, they'll come and be pouring water on you and the car together.
Are you expecting her to go and be washing cars for you?
She loves to wash cars.
Okay.
So sometimes I would beg her, please don't wash the car tomorrow, I want to wash it. Because then she was making me invaluable in the house. She would do all the chores and do everything. Me, I would just come back and do nothing. So, and I didn't like it, because I'm not passing the right information to the children. So I want them to learn from me as well. So I'll deliberately go and wash the car. I'll deliberately go and be ironing the clothes. So when the children come, are you ironing mommy's clothes? I say yes. They are boys. I have a girl too, but I use that to train them as well. Nigerian men are good, but you will not even give them space to act their goodness, because you want to just control them. That's the problem. You are quick to tell a man what he's doing wrong rather than tell him what he can improve. You understand? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not? Just leave him. Just say, honey, can you help me out with this? And guess what? Most men will not even accept to help you out, because you've been nagging them all this while. The last time he didn't give money enough, you complained. The last time you wanted him to do something for your parents, you complained. So he's already biased about you. So anytime he really wants to give his help to you, he won't give it, because he's trying to pay you back in your coin. You people don't know what love means. Paying back. That's why you have this horrible marriage now.
Just pay back.
That's what is happening.
Pay back time.
Listen, that's exactly what is happening in marriages. Wife is trying to pinch the husband is pinching the wife. So you have a ridiculous marriage, and that ego will destroy it, and everybody goes their way. Guess who suffers it? The children who God gave to you. But we are saying everybody should lie down from their ego and attend to situations rightly. What do you think I'm doing here? I'm trying to advise you on all the cases of your life. Deal with this thing correctly. Don't just use ego to scatter everything. Hey, I graduate, I'm a graduate. How much do you even make? If it's only 100,000, your money is bigger than my own. Why do you want to talk to say? Everything can be worked out. I think most of you should go. Do you notice? And I'm going to say this. I can't see a lawyer get divorced. Have you had a lawyer that got divorced? Female lawyer?
No.
Did you ever imagine that? Actually, all lawyers are in their husband's house. It's hard. Everybody that gets divorced are regular businessmen, pastors, all these things. I've never seen a lawyer get divorced. I'm sure most of you, please tell me if you have seen a lawyer, female, get divorced. You know why it's easier for them? They are used to arguing, but in law, they just don't argue. They argue for a solution. There's a difference with that. So once, as a wife, if you are saying, the wife will say, but now he's telling you, just to get to a solution.
They will find a common ground.
Yes, they find a common ground. That means they listen to you. You know, lawyers just don't argue. Once you're saying something, they'll say, hey, you got us there, but they'll bring something else. They say in 1422, Evan Koku and Alison Madweke, they'll bring a case. So you see, they'll be bending, they say, so the best person that can make the argument up is what wins. Guess what? Lawyers always agree with judgment. So if you win them, they won't say it's my own, that's my own, that's your own. They will not say, oh, okay, and agree now with your case. But you see, wives who are not lawyers, provided they think this thing is A, die on the ground, they will tell you is A. Instead of them to now agree it's now B, but because it's not their own decision or not coming from a trusted, authority. If their pastor say anything, they agree with that 100%. They won't even ask. If their father or mother say something, they agree with that. Most girls will not ask. But let their husband talk. Now arguments. Okay, even if the husband has convinced you, you still continue the argument. At the end of the day, if you now say, I just want peace to reign. No. You don't want peace to reign. Accept that is now B, no longer A. But they will never. But lawyers will agree. And that's why their families are better off.